What's up, everyone? Welcome to another podcast episode. In fact, this is the first podcast episode on this channel. A few days back, I made this video on career in data analyst, and I interviewed 3 different data analysts from big companies like a FANG company. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. But a lot of you said that you want to see all individual interviews instead of all the compilation. So in this episode, we have the guest whose name is Suparna, and he is a manager of data analyst, and he works for Walmart, which is obviously who haven't heard about Walmart. And since he's a manager of data analyst, he's also a hiring manager. So he hires data analysts. So he gives a very different perspective of what does data analysts do, what does their day look like, salary ranges, most important interview questions, what do they expect, what does he expect when he hires data analysts. Lots and lots of fun and valuable conversation in this episode. I hope you do find it valuable, and if you do, please consider subscribing. Also, it's a first episode, so please show some love. But anyway, I do hope that you find this episode valuable and fun. Enjoy the conversation. All right, let's do a quick intro.
Okay, so currently I'm a technical product manager at Walmart Labs. So I recently joined Walmart like 3 months ago, and before that I was working for the first. Before that I was working with FedEx as a data analyst, and I graduated from University of Florida this January.
Nice. So you said you're a technical product manager and not data analyst?
No, so I manage a data analyst.
Oh, that's even better actually.
Yeah.
According to you, since you manage
Mhm.
data analysts, do you also hire data analysts?
Yeah, I am hiring right now actually.
Oh,
I'm
you
going to
are.
hire right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm going to hire right now.
Okay, so according to you, because since you are a
Mhm.
hiring manager, what are some
Mhm.
of the most important skill set for data analyst?
Yeah. So first and foremost, and this is the top of the table by a long shot, is SQL. I mean, any sort of SQL, MySQL, SQL or whatever it may be. That is like the first and foremost. You need to know SQL, otherwise, no data job is not doable without SQL. Secondly, would be any sort of data visualization tool like Power BI, Tableau, Looker. I mean, all of there are different ones, but all of them mostly run in the same sort of feature. You need to know where to use bar graphs, where to use pie chart, and those kind of things. That's second. Now, these two, if you have, and then if you it would be good to have some statistical knowledge. For example, if you know basic regression algorithms, basic sort of statistical modeling, not in a high level, but basic stuff, then you're good. And obviously communication skill is like that's required everywhere. That's not a new thing, that's not specific to data analyst, but yeah,
Right.
that also is.
What does a typical day look like in a life of a data
Mhm.
analyst? Like, what do they do from morning till evening?
Yeah, so for example, in my team, the analysts are very much focused mainly on developing dashboards and developing reports for mainly for senior executives. So in our team, the main goal, sort of our main products are dashboards and data models. Now the dashboards are created by the data analyst. So the main sort of the main sort of work they're doing is basically creating queries and SQL queries to pull data, using those data to create dashboards. And the dashboards are sort of, now they have to understand the sort of requirements the executives have, and then convert it into technical features or technical specification. They have to understand the customer requirements and convert it into technical features into those data representations. So the main job here in our is in my team is mainly for creating reports and dashboards that are sort of palatable to senior executives. Now, what's a report which is palatable to me, a technical person, may not be palatable to someone who's a non-technical person who doesn't know maybe what data modeling is, what those things are. So yeah, that's like the main thing currently my team is doing.
Okay. So if I have to explain this in a very layman terms,
Mhm.
you get a data set from somebody, right? From the
No, we don't get it. So we have to pull the data with SQL as well. So
oh
we have the so we have a data sort of database. We have our own database, and we are pulling those data from the analysts are pulling those data themselves, whatever they need for the data for the reports and stuff. they're pulling it themselves, connecting it to Power BI or Tableau, whatever they're using, and then representing it the way the customers want, and then showing it to them.
What is the salary range for data analysts?
So salary, so again, that depends on sort of the location again. So for example, in Walmart Labs is based in Bentonville, Arkansas. Now that's a pretty inexpensive place. So there the salary range is around, I think, 110 to 120 ish. Data analyst. That's data analyst one. Obviously, data analyst two will be higher. So that's in Arkansas. So also assume that in Seattle or California it will be much higher.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
Can people without work experience actually get a job as a data analyst?
Of course they can. So there, so uh, now data analyst is, you can equate data analyst same as a SDE
Software
position,
Yeah.
software position. So if you can get an entry level of software engineering position. Similarly, you can get an entry level data analyst position. For example, if you are someone new who just graduated from, I don't know, done BTech and came to US, then yes, you have to build a portfolio. Your GitHub profile has to be spot on. You have to have worked on multiple projects with professors and whoever you want. Build your own project so that you have something to show. And again, once that's the way to get the interview. Now, after you get the interview, it's all up to you. If you answer their questions, you're good. So yeah, it's the same as getting a entry level software engineering job.
What are some of the most common questions for data analyst interview?
Okay, so so I have given interviews in all of the FANG companies except Netflix. So in all of them, at least first three rounds in, and this is in analyst, scientist, engineer, all three, all the data domains
Mm.
is SQL, and I can stress more on how important SQL is. So there are three rounds of SQL query questions. So they will, so whatever you have to technically write a type of pseudo code. They will give you a board, online board. They will give you a problem, a data set. Then they will ask, oh, find this, give me this data, give me this data, and then you have to write down the code. And if you are writing in a,
When you say this data, what does it mean? Give us an
okay,
example.
so for example, Facebook, for example, in my interview, they gave me a list, a table of the ads they're running for the last 1 year. So ad ID, ad duration, ad names, then year and date, something like that. So from that data set, you have to pull in, oh, what was the highest number of ads that was seen, viewed in the last 5 days or 10 days, something like that. So what is the lowest viewed ad? What is the maximum time of ad was viewed, or which customer viewed which ad? Those kind of things. So functions like dense ranking, row numbers, then joins, these become very important. So these are like, you have to know this by heart, and I mean you have to be nailed on your head. So these are some of the questions you get. And once these are done, then once these technical rounds are done for the first three rounds, then you go in the final rounds. They may mostly ask about sort of your background, story type questions, as in behavioral type, as in tell me about a time you use data to solve a problem, or these the basic type of star analogy type questions. So yeah, so the first three rounds is mostly SQL, and so which is why I say SQL is like the most important thing.
Any one piece of advice for anybody who wants to become a data analyst? What should they do?
They need to like go to lead code, and there is in lead code, just like in software development, there is a place for SQL problems as well, database problems. So go through that. Like I think there are three. I did the same thing. I wasn't the best at SQL. I was okay. I practice. There's around 500 problems or more. They're adding it every day. Just work those problems every day, and SQL is like the most important thing. And secondly, if you don't have real world experience with data visualizations, then I would suggest you get a Tableau trial version, or a sort of mm, Power BI trial version, and then download data sets from Kaggle or any sort of data set, and just make visuals on your own, so that sort of understand what kind of data is best represented in what kind of visuals. That is very important. These are the 2 tips for cracking interviews.
Yeah. Awesome. Again, thank you so
Yeah.
much.